Dating is hard as a single woman. It is awful. It's honestly worse than I could have ever imagined.
What?
Honestly, it was easier being single at 19 than it is as a 25-year-old.
That's fucking...
Whoa, wait a minute. She said that dating was easier at 19 than it is at 25. 25 is when a woman is at her prime. It's when she's at her peak. This is the sexiest, the best looking she's ever gonna be. But I have a question. Is this true? Is it harder to date at 25 than it is 19? Comment your thoughts under this video. Now, while you're commenting your thoughts, let me go ahead and welcome you guys to another episode of Wall Watch, where we see how women respond to hitting the wall. Now, 25 is extremely young to be hitting the wall, but hitting the wall is hitting the wall. So let's finish watching this video clip and then let's have this conversation. Now, before we get into this conversation, go ahead, like the video, then subscribe to the channel because I'm posting daily content. My name is Bertrand. I am the coolest dude on the planet and I'm your friend. Confidence and clarity is the goal. So here we go.
Dating is hard as a single woman. It is awful. It's honestly worse than I could have ever imagined.
Yeah.
What?
Honestly, it was easier being single at 19 than it is as a 25-year-old.
That's crazy.
Wait, why though?
I feel like guys used to have so much confidence and they'd approach you. Like, I don't know, when you're younger, it's just so much easier. I
They
feel
haven't
like
been rejected as much.
yeah. And now I'll go out and I'm like, woo, you know, I'm going to get some attention tonight. And no one speaks to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, am I the most hideous human in the world? Like,
No. Me and Cass always speak about this though. Like,
the bar is in hell.
we've spoken
Yeah.
about this a lot of times, and it seems like it's an issue that's getting more and more traction. Like, it's not actually getting solved.
The reason why this is a huge issue is because women don't tell you the truth. They tell you how they feel. Because they tell you how they feel, a lot of things get misconstrued. For instance, the reason why dating is easier at 19 than it is at 25 is because you want more. You have higher standards, right? For instance, when you're 19, what you're really thinking about is, do I like you and do you like me? Are we attracted to each other? Can we build a life together? Like, right? Like you're kind of you're more happy about life. You're more excited about the possibility of being with this woman. Whereas when this woman turns 25, she has things. 25, she has things that she needs, right? Now, women tend to tell men that they don't need them, right? Because they don't need them, men tend to respond to that. Now, what I would tell you is men and women need each other, All of that want stuff is dumb. The reason why it's dumb is because wants change. Meaning you want this today, but you don't really want this tomorrow, or you don't want this, later on down the line. But when you need something, you need it every single day. Now, I'm not saying that men and women, husband and wife, should be together every single day. But what I'm saying is, if you don't feel the need to need the next person, guess what? You will not cherish them. You will not treat them well. You will not respect them. You will not do what you need to do in order to keep order in your house. The order that you are able to keep in your house is what brings peace, because we all know that women have this thing where they desire attention. And because they desire that attention, this is what's actually going wrong. For instance, when a woman is 25, right? She has been through damage. She has been through trauma. She has been through things where she's saying, you know what? I'm never going to deal with that again. So
you just gonna come to my house and me and come all in my mouth and you're not gonna phone? No. I swear to God. I swear to God. Hello. Don't you hang up again. Because if you hang up, I'm gonna bust all your windows out.
So you go from being at 19 with having no expectations to being 25 and having the highest expectations. Here's the problem with that. When you're 25, men are not even thinking about the future. Right now, if they are thinking about the future, they're preparing themselves for the future, whether they're in college or just graduated from college. Right now, they have to take that low-level job, or they have to figure out how to make money, and then they have to figure out how to double, triple, and quadruple that money. Usually by the time you figure out how to quadruple your money, you're not in your 20s. Right? You're somewhere close to 40. I keep having this conversation with the women that I'm dating in my real life because this was something that I experienced. Social media will have you thinking that all of these things, as far as finances go, as far as entrepreneurship go, as far as like making money, the social media will have you believing that this is something that everybody has been knowing. Like this is knowledge that everybody knows. When in reality, when you talk to people, you will find out that there are a lot of people who still don't know credit, who still need to have their credit fixed, who don't understand entrepreneurship and how hard it is, the good times, the difficult times, how to prepare, how to continuously reinvest your money. People don't really understand that. They hear one thing and they say, okay, dang, entrepreneurship, oh, that's great. Yeah. Let me go ahead and get into that and do that. Now, here's the only problem. You can have a good 5 years, and then the next 5 years can be bad, especially if investments were not made. Now, again, when we're talking about a woman dating at 25, guess what? She wants the world. Because while she's on social media, what she's thinking about is how this relationship is going to make her look on social media. She wants
hear this, but the grass isn't always greener on the other side. When I was younger, I dated someone who was seemingly an amazing man, an amazing boyfriend, but he had a few little quirks, a few little things that honestly could have been looked past. But because of what I saw on social media, I was just over the relationship. And I'm sure there were other things.
Social media. She wants to look like she has it all together. She wants to look like she has figured out life. She wants to be out traveling the world and doing things that men who have money say, that's expensive. Even the men who don't have money, they say, damn, how the hell did she get there? How the hell is she over there? How the hell is she in that place? What does she actually do for a living? And then you find out, oh, okay, she's selling herself. Oh, okay, that was a sugar daddy. Guess what? He's somewhere in his late 30s to early 40s. He figured it out. He's probably closer to 50. He figured it out though. He figured out finances. He figured out how to invest, how to keep money coming in, whether you're having good times or whether you're having bad times. But women have not figured this out. Now, let's get back to her, right? Because she said that she could go out and no one would talk to her. Now, again, is this woman telling us the truth, or is this woman telling us how she feels? Because I know men, and I've seen plenty of guys who constantly will approach every single woman that they can, especially when they go out, no matter what the occasion is. It doesn't matter if it's a concert, doesn't matter if it's the bar, the lounge, it doesn't matter if it's at an amusement park. Men will find a way to talk to women. But the question I have is she talking about the men she's interested in, or is she actually just talking about men in general? The reason I'm asking that is because a lot of women have this overinflated ego where they think that they look better than they do. And I have this conversation a lot where I have to tell certain women, like, you don't look as good as you think you do. Like, we can see that you have a wig on. Like, we can see that that hair and that hair texture just does not match who you are and what you are. Now, for the women who are able to do that, guess what? They are really selling themselves. And they're usually older than 25 because they understand, you know what? I'd rather deal with a whole bunch of men who gonna pay for my nails. I can get him to pay my nails. I can get him to pay my bills. I can get him to put me through the mattress. I can get him to do special things for me. I can get him to talk to and, explain how bad and how rough my days were, right? She got that man that she can express to. she has a whole bunch of men that are filling a whole bunch of different voids for her. Again, the issue comes in where she doesn't understand that she needs a man. She needs that, right? You need a man to provide logic. You need a man to protect you with his life. Because for whatever reason, people mix those things up, not understanding what has to be done, right? And again, understanding finances is a lifelong journey because you're going to have good times and bad times. You're going to have money. You're going to have people suing you. But again, when you have certain investments and those investments are protected in certain ways, you have money continuously coming in. It takes time to get there, but it also takes planning and preparation as well. So I say all this to say, this woman is not as attractive as she thinks she is, and the majority of women are not as attractive as they think they are. The other issue, the biggest issue, is that women forgot how to talk to men. Women forgot that there's a reason why the mother-son dynamic is huge, and the daughter and father dynamic is huge as well. So essentially what you're doing is you're replacing your mom with your spouse, and you're replacing your dad with your spouse. Once again, we need each other. All of this want talk is the biggest issue that we're having. So what I think has to happen in order for people to get their minds right is, I don't even really want to say it, but it has to be like some type of catastrophe. I mean, just think about what happened with COVID when everybody had to stay in. I was just so happened to be in a relationship, and that relationship actually went well until everybody was able to go back outside. The reason why I'm responding to this is because 25 is usually a woman's peak. This is where she's at her prime, her best, the sexiest she's ever gonna be, the most attractive she's ever gonna be, the best her body is ever going to be, unless she gets herself in shape or unless she runs to the table and gets cut up, right? That woman and at 25 should be in her prime. But what I have learned is that women may actually need to go to like a reality class. Like they may need to really go to a reality class where they have to pass the test, and the test has to be logical things. That way they understand reality, right? Because if you actually want a man, if you actually want a family, there's things that a woman needs to know. Now, again, I date women, so that's why you hear it from this perspective. I'm sure there's women who could say the same thing about men. There's things that we need to know or understand about women. For instance, the hardest time to dealing with a woman every single month while she's on her cycle. Oh my gosh. Dealing with a woman after she has children and she's experiencing postpartum. This is when you will meet the demon that is in that woman. And then menopause. Oh my gosh. You will go through things that you will not understand. You will see things. You will have to really deal with things that you are not prepared for, meaning her body temperature is going to be thrown off. I mean, out of whack, to the point to where she's going to want to be in the house and she's going to want it freezing cold, because her body temperature is just out of whack. But this is something that I had to learn from firsthand experience, dealing with it and also seeing it. I've been married and divorced, so I have little experience there. The biggest reason why women are struggling, in dating is because they don't give us men what we actually want. Femininity, exclusivity, her being in shape, right? Because if you're not in shape, his eyes are going to wander to the woman that is in shape, right? That does have, a nice big butt and some nice breasts with a nice little waistline and tummy and all of that stuff, right? Legs and butt, all of that. If the woman is not giving the man that, it's going to be hard. Also, she has to cherish that man, and that man has to cherish her, cherish and honor her, respect, loyalty, exclusivity. If those things are not given, then the amount of respect that will be given back to her is not going to match what she's actually looking for or what she actually desires. This is why I keep saying, fellas, reinvent yourself. Figure out what's going on in the dating market, like I just laid out. The reasons why dating is hard is because women have made it hard, right? You have to have a certain amount of money. So I'm telling you, get to the money, because the guys who have the money, they're not complaining. They're just enjoying. Keep that in mind, fellas. The men who have the money are just enjoying their experiences. Why? Because all of those women are replaceable. So for the women who think that they're attractive and they're really not, this is where they're running into issues, because they think that they deserve a man that is not even looking at them, that is not even looking for them, that is like that guy is so not interested in her that is blowing her mind. She doesn't know what's going on. So this is why I say, get your mind together, get your body together, and get your finances together. Read, exercise, and study finances. Then utilize it, then put it into play, right? Put it into play, and then make sure you have your own action steps, your own plan together, so that one day you could retire, or you can have money coming in as if you're still working when you're actually out living the life that you want to live. So get yourself together. Reinvent yourself. But I have a question for you. What do you think? Comment under this video. Remember, when you are watching these videos, you are becoming the best version of yourself. Now that this video was done, do me a huge favor. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.